Hey, good evening from Scott in South Georgia. It's one of those days. Unexpected repair bill. It happens. So you can learn from my mistakes and you can learn from my wins. So let's just get right into it. So on my wife's car, it was parked at she went on a trip. This has been some time back. Anyway, she came back to the airport and had this chemical smell in the car, and the AC quit. Now, prior to that, let me say this: the AC kind of quit cooling, so I added a few ounces or a small amount of Freon, and it worked fine. I just thought, you know what? Got a small leak. If I've got to add Freon every once in a blue moon, hey, not a big deal. I can do that. All right. I don't advise you doing that unless you've got some kind of mechanical aptitude as far as cars. I've got a little bit, and just enough to be dangerous. With that said, other day, well, the chemical smell got stronger and stronger, and the AC just quit. And I thought, oh no. And I had a pretty good idea. If we're smelling Freon in the car, more than likely that evaporator core, which is inside or in the dash, to repair that, they've got to pull the entire dash out of the car to even get to it. So I took the car to a reputable shop in Brunswick, Georgia. I'm gonna go ahead and put their name out there, and I'll show you. I'm gonna show you the bill as well. Barnes Tire, and they do all kinds of services. So I've got a really I'm gonna highly recommend these guys. I've used them before. I think the point of the video is Joe called and gave me choices. He called me this morning. We dropped the car off yesterday. He said, Scott, you got two choices here. It appears that your leak is coming from the evaporator core, which we did not want that. We can do two things. We can pull the dash out, replace that evaporator core. Gonna run you $1,400, $1,500. Now, on many other cars, you're looking at $2,000, $3,000, even $4,000 or $5,000 to remove a dash and do all this work. Depends on the model of the car. This is a Toyota, just a few years old. All right, so with that said, our options were a little under $200, or I think around $1,400, $1,500 to pull the dash out and replace that. Well, we opted for, because the car has got almost 300,000 miles on it. And I'll be honest with you, we've had hardly any breakdowns on this car. So we decided to go ahead and try this $200 or less fix. And they use this stuff called, well, they called it Red Devil, but when I looked it up a while ago, before doing this video, I believe it's called Red Angel. Maybe my mind is somewhere else, who knows. So anyway, here's the repair bill. And by the way, the AC is cooling like crazy. So it's been holding Freon all day. It does not appear to have leaked down. It's blowing cold. And I even did a test with this right here, my digital thermometer. Hey, it's blowing right now at about 43 degrees. I could have probably got it colder, but hey, what's the point? So if you want to see the breakdown of the bill, or I can tell you, then show you real quick, out the door for doing all this stuff. And this includes, okay, AC service. Yeah, it's called Red Angel Stop Leak. Let's see, X amount of ounces of Freon, $29.99 and so forth. They had to put some dye in there, I guess, in case they wanted to check they even checked all the hoses to see if there's leaks. So guess what? Been running it for a while, and it's working. My fingers are crossed. It appears like it's going to work. Total bill today, $193. Let me put this up there in case you guys need to see it or somebody wants to really ask questions. And again, Barnes Tire Service in Brunswick, Georgia. And what I like about it, the mechanic, his name is Joe, he called me at work this morning. He said, Scott, you got two choices. $1,400, pull the dash out, $1,500, or we'll try this at $193. And he said this Red Angel works about 50% of the time. So if this happens to you, you start smelling that chemical smell in your car, it's up to you. You want to go ahead and get it done, or do you want to take a risk like I did? I would say, you know what, I'm a cheaper guy sometimes, but my gut said, let's give it a try. So Again, you can learn from my wins, learn from my mistakes. I call this, I think so far, a win. If you like what you've seen so far, hey, like or subscribe to the channel, and I'll give as much information as I can out there to try to save you a buck or two or three, if not four. So, hey, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Subscribe if you like the channel, and I'm sure there'll be something else comes up that I've got to share to help you save $1. Thank you for viewing.